Hello, and welcome to episode 22 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And Drummer Matt. Say bonjour.
Bonjour.
He's getting good at this French thing. Probably because he's gonna have to speak it every day.
That would make you better at saying hello.
Well, you'd think that. Yeah, no, saying hello. Yeah, I can deal with that bit.
Awesome.
That's as far as you're willing to commit to French.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't even done the je m'appelle thing or anything? It's just bonjour?
No, just bonjour.
Okay, is that...
There's another greeting. Cuckoo. Cuckoo.
Is that to say hello to pigeons?
Yeah, well, I think that's originally how it started. It was like, someone was trying to explain it, and they think it's like, it's a fun noise to say to kids, and then over the years it's kind of spread to be like a young person's greeting.
Aw, that's absolutely adorable. I love those little cultural differences.
Possibly not, so according to some people, not male to male, but then, like, you know, according to some people, guys don't hug or whatever, so, like, you know, I don't think that's really a rule that I should listen to.
Yeah.
So.
I was talking about it, like, French yesterday, and I remember, like, sitting in class, and, like, our French book had a poodle that the owner called Chouchou, or Shosho, and I was like, so that's half of cauliflower, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what? I get that a poodle looks like a cauliflower, but that's a bit strange to me. I mean, I think it's adorable, but I'm kind of wondering where that came from.
I think the comparison in English is like if you had a pug and called it potato.
Pugtato.
Pugtato is the best name for a pug.
It's the only name for a pug.
I was actually quite happy because I went out earlier and I saw someone walking a pug and a French bulldog.
Aww.
And that was a beautiful and pure moment that I experienced earlier.
Well, I honestly think that if you're just out and about and you see a dog, just that immediately makes my day better.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, although we should probably talk about something more substantial than the dogs, what we saw today.
Okay, welcome to the MisanthroPod. We talk about dogs, what we've seen today.
Well, I was about to start a story then about a dog that I haven't seen today that I saw like a year ago. So is that even less relevant? Should I stop?
Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just talk about dogs.
Okay, tell us. I need to hear this story.
It was a French bulldog, and it was just we were on holiday in the camper van. I think it was in Scotland somewhere. And we're just at a campsite, just chilling out, having a beer. And some kid walks past, like he was, maybe 10, maybe? Walks past with a French bulldog on a lead. And he sees us, like, eyeing it up. And he's like... And so he walks over and goes, oh, hi, this is my bulldog. He's called this, blah, blah, blah. Starts going off. And then he goes, I'm teaching him tricks. Do you want to see? And we're like, obviously we want to see. And then he proceeds to start doing all the whole, you know, sit down, roll over, paw, all of these things. It was like a, 10-year-old kid.
Aww.
With, like, a puppy French bulldog. Oh. And it was just me and Ruth were just like, best holiday ever.
Shit, I am upset because I've never seen anything that wonderful in my life, and I'm not sure if I ever will.
Is it just something that we get, but like every time you see a dog, you're like, okay, that's my new favourite breed of dog. And then you see the next dog and you're like, oh, that dog's cute, it's my favourite. Like, oh, that dog's cute, that dog is now my favourite. And it's like, it's the same as dogs when they see a human. They're like, oh, human, you're cool. Like, we have exactly the same with dogs. We're like, oh, a dog, it's my new favourite dog.
Well, that's the thing. Every dog ever is my favourite dog.
yeah, exactly.
It's like every person thinks that their dog is the best dog in the world, and you know what? Every person is completely goddamn right.
We make the one exception for that one dog that we saw at a gig once.
Oh, the exception.
Who was shaved for some reason, like it had a lion's mane.
Asshole lion dog.
And that was Lion Dog, and Lion Dog was a dickhead.
Yeah,
Lion
did not
dog,
like Lion Dog.
Yeah.
That was the only dog I've ever met that was a complete douchebag. Yeah. So, but you know, it's like I've probably met at least 8 million dogs. I mean, roughly.
Rough. High quality podcast content.
Welcome to the MisanthroPod. We're very, very important people with very, very highbrow senses of humour.
So, Matthew, what have you been doing?
Bits and bobs. I've been I showed you guys before I started, but I have a couple of French comics.
Yes.
To help with the whole French, and also it's a good excuse to buy comics. So I've been reading the new Civil War So Civil War 2, which I didn't read the original one, but I saw the film, and that's totally the same, right?
That's probably
giving a knowing
fine.
nod to anyone who reads comics who's now going to be angrily writing comments.
I like the idea that every episode we have something that will make someone angrily write a comment and then point that out.
Yeah. So I'm about 4 pages into that, because I mean it's hard when you only know half the words. And I was like, I could like power through it and I get the gist of what's happening, but I feel like I wouldn't be appreciating it as much. So I'm kind of like, okay, no, this is a good chance to learn new words, but it means that then I have to sit with my phone on with a translate app, and it takes a while.
Well, maybe that's like a way to make comics totally worth their money, is just buy them in a language that's not yours, so it takes you like days to read each segment.
Yeah, it's a bit, because like if I buy a comic in English, I have an annoying habit of just ploughing through them far too fast and not really looking at the art.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, actually, I'm appreciating the art a lot better when I'm having to read each panel a few times.
Because you're having to sit there and stare it down.
Yeah, so it's not actually a terrible idea, to be honest.
No, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So I find myself, like, especially when reading, I'll read, like, 2 pages and go, I took maybe 2% of that in, and then I have to go back and read it.
See, I have that real problem when reading, especially when it's something kind of vaguely complicated.
Maybe like Lovecraft or...
Yeah, like...
But like your favourite kind of books.
Yeah. Well, it does happen a lot, because I can't remember if I've ever mentioned this on a podcast before. I think I have. As I've been slowly getting through like Lovecraft's complete works, and I don't end up reading as often as I like, so it's taken me like a year and a half to get like 2/3 of the way through it. But because of the way that's written, sometimes what will happen is, if I'm reading it like at the end of the day and I'm a little bit like sleepy, is I'll read half a page. And then I'll have to stop, and I'll have to go back up and read the rest of it, because I realise that my brain did not take any of it in. And that's the kind of story where you have to take shit in.
You really have to pay attention to one of those.
Yeah.
The one exception, of course, being the Dream Quest for Unknown Kadath, which I kind of
that's your favourite story!
Which I kind of wish I'd have just skimmed and not paid attention to, because that's like the one Lovecraft story I absolutely hate.
You know what? Yeah, it's not very good.
Oh,
and the worst thing is that it's quite a long story.
Yeah, it's a very long story that is... Because have you heard about like Lovecraft's dream stories?
No, I mean, I haven't ever actually read much. I mean, I know the gist of what some of them are about, and that's about as far as I go, I'm afraid.
Okay, well, the dream... A lot of his dream stories are based around there being like a dream world that is just as real as the living world, that has its own geography and follows its own rules, and you can go there and have like lucid dreams there almost.
Okay.
And some people stay there so long that they just live there, effectively. And the story is about someone in that who wants to find this like mythical city in this dream realm, and then proceeds for fucking hundreds of pages to just make stuff up that has no consequence. So it's like, it'll stop, oh yeah, I started off in the dell with the mean things that eat you, and fortunately I was a friend of their king, so they helped me, so they got me to the next city,
and
where
made
they
me some Pop-Tarts, and it was delicious.
But they knew about the evil traders from the land across the sea, where I got passage with them to get there, but then they captured me, but I was then freed by the cats who had an army that went to the moon, and it's just like that for like 200 pages.
Oh, yeah, good. Does it end, and I woke up and it was all a dream?
No, because you know it's a dream from the outset.
It starts with, I went to sleep and had a dream.
But the thing is, like you expect, after all this build, it to go somewhere, and like at the end, it all be like this elaborate metaphor for something. If it is, I couldn't work out what it is. It just gets to the end, and it's like, this had no point. It just wasted my time for hours of my life.
We were also asking Drum about what he'd been up to, and then we went on a massive Lovecraft tangent.
There is that.
Yeah, I think that people who listen to this are well aware that occasionally that a Lovecraft tangent might happen. But yeah, I think people have come to either that or Star Trek. So
I don't have anything to say about Star Trek this week.
Okay, what about sci-fi?
I have a lot to say about a completely unrelated sci-fi.
There we go.
But we'll get to that later.
So, what else have I been doing?
Yes.
Not too much. A few bit. I've started playing because we're still waiting for internet here. I'm occupying my days by either reading or my phone has internet because we've got ridiculous amounts of internet on my phone.
Yeah.
Contract. I started playing Magic Duels on my phone, which is the newest Magic the Gathering digital game. Because I used to be quite into it, and it's the sort of collectible card games they're my jam when I find other people to play them with, and it's a bit tricky sometimes. But I got quite into it at school. I can't remember if I've mentioned it before or not. I think we probably spoke about this on the podcast.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but I quite enjoy Magic and various games like that. So yeah, I was looking into it, and then I found out that there's a relatively new. I think it's on Steam as well, so you can get it on, and it seems to be free. You can obviously
Freemium,
buy
I'm
coins
guessing.
to you can buy coins to buy more cards, and you buy them in the same way that you buy them in real life, like you buy booster packs. And then you open the pack, so it's kind of like Hearthstone-y. And I guess that's kind of why it has to be free, because
Yeah.
yeah.
When Hearthstone exists, you've kind of got to...
Yeah.
You're always going to be playing catch-up with that.
That is kind of like, that's the market standard for kind of
Yeah. And
card games, really.
I did play Hearthstone for a while, and I did quite enjoy that. I don't know why I stopped, actually. But
I played it for a while
Anyway.
because I remember I played it for the exact amount of time that I needed to get that amount, and you basically told me what to do the whole time.
is that to get some footage for... I can't remember which video it was. I was going to mention it, actually.
Oh, where
you mentioned about starting a Hearthstone video or something.
Oh no, I think what you're thinking of is when our machine just died, and we were like basically pretending that like for the update video we were like, yeah, we're going to be going dark for like a week because we just don't have a computer. We were pretending that we were going to do like a what?
No, I know exactly what he's talking about. It's not that.
No, I'm thinking like because in the end it was like Snipe and we'd play Hearthstone episode 157.
That wasn't that.
What was it then?
It was an episode like a couple of weeks ago where in the intro part of it you say Snipe and Whip play is over, and then I put in an end card at the start of the video that had fake links in it.
See, I knew it was a video what we've done.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a joke.
Because that video we put up when the graphics card was dead, we couldn't put an end card in it because it was made on your phone.
That was my favourite video. Where you just hold up a hand-drawn title card. I was like, this needs to be in more videos.
Hand-drawn. That's why I don't draw the title cards very often, because we end up with the fucking like the loadout like title card and the bootleg Pokemon games where it's just like a creepy man's face on a Pikachu.
Yeah, but the thing...
And sexy Pepsi Man. This is why Matt does all the fucking art for it, because mine is like mind-bending horror.
But by the same token, like, Drummer Matt has just said that that's like the best title card. So the thing that you spent 10 minutes on is better than the hundreds and hundreds of hours I have spent drawing title cards, apparently.
I'm sorry.
Ooh. Is Drummer Matt... Are you even going to, like, attempt to apologise? You're just like, sorry, mate. Just full stop. I ain't saying nothing else.
I'm sorry the truth hurts you, but...
Hey, look, you know... that took me... It makes you feel better. That took me at least, like, a minute to scroll down in Sharpie and not give a fuck.
In fairness, most viral videos on YouTube are made in like 8 seconds, and then they'll get millions and millions of views and will be far more famous than anything we put work into.
I'm gonna be honest. I've got this real bitter taste in my mouth right now.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's come from, really.
But yes, so I've been playing Magic Duels. It's on my phone, which is far too small to play because you can't read what any of the cards say unless you like zoom in on them. But yeah, it seems great. It's free, and there's like a story mode where you just play against the computer, and it goes through like a sort of gives you some context to why you're playing.
Oh, cool.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
Because I haven't dared play a real person yet because
Yeah.
It's scary.
I'm terrible. I haven't played for years, and I can't remember how anything works. But the story mode so far is there's nothing that stops you playing. It's like Hearthstone in that you can buy coins to buy more packs, but it doesn't like arbitrarily stop you playing at any point, or it hasn't done so far. By like, oh yeah, you've run out of lives, so therefore you can't play for another
wait
6
for
hours
2
unless you give
days
us
or
money.
spend
Or-
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be like that. It just seems to be if you want to get more cards quicker, you can give us money. Yeah, no, I recommend it. It's free, so I'd like, and it's on Steam as well. And I assume it's free on Steam, although I can't actually check.
You never know. You never know with mobile games. Sometimes when they come on PC, they suddenly cost 3 times as much.
But assuming it's free, I mean, check it out if you want to play Magic and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a nicely. It's got some quite good tutorials and shows you what it's about, and then like you can click on a card, and if it says a rule that you don't understand, you can like click on it and it will show you what it means and things. So yeah,
cool.
If you want to give Magic a go.
Well, that sounds like it's really very like non-threatening in an environment to learn.
I'd recommend. I think I completely missed it coming out whenever it was, but that's been most of my time. I've been reading books as well, like comics, and I've also been reading. A while ago, Amazon, their Prime TV thing, are trying to do what Netflix do and make original shows.
Yeah.
There was that one, The Man in the High Castle, which is the one with like a alternate. I don't know when exactly it's set, 'cause I think it was written in the 60s. The book was, so I think it's set in the 60s, or at least the book is, where the Japanese and Germans won the Second World War. So it's like a universe where that happened. And
basically the same universe that Wolfenstein: The New Order takes place in.
Yeah, in essence. But this was written a bit before that.
A little bit, I guess. We can give them that.
Yeah, I've been quite enjoying it. I really want to check out the TV series now. The book, it's quite a cool concept, but it's a bit weirdly written. Possibly because I don't get on well with old books.
There is books were written in a very different style. Once you go back like so far,
They weren't written for people with iPhones or tablets and things. Attention span. So
there is that.
That's why I always had so much trouble with Shakespeare's plays at school.
Well, I've always chalked that up to the fact that you're supposed to watch them as plays rather than read them as books.
Well, don't get me started on that. But...
I quite enjoy some Shakespeare, but yeah, not reading them. It's kind of...
No, I hear you. They're supposed to be watched, not read.
Yeah. Midsummer Night's Dream is quite entertaining. I enjoyed that one.
I thought that had some nice moments.
Yeah, it's quite sweet.
I've never actually seen that. The only Shakespeare play I've ever actually seen was I saw a production of Macbeth.
I like Macbeth.
It was alright. I'm not really a Shakespeare guy.
Did you see the most recent Macbeth with Fassbender?
No.
It was done in a style of like it was actually because like there's the newish. It's not even new anymore, is it? God, that shows I'm old. The newest Romeo and Juliet with DiCaprio and things, which was actually.
Well, you mean the one that was done in like
the 20 years ago?
It was like late 90s, I think, because I watched it at like fucking secondary school.
But yeah, because that was using the old language, but was set modern, and it was quite cool. But long story short, it's not. It's just set when it's set, and the language is the same. I watched it with a mate of mine from Iran.
Oh,
so
okay.
his English is completely fluent, but he didn't grow up with A, the story of Macbeth, or B, Shakespearean English.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So every like few minutes he turned around and goes, "What is happening? I have no idea what's going on," because he didn't know. Because like I read enough, or at least was forced to read enough, and have seen enough of Shakespeare to get a gist of like the weirdness of old English, and I knew a bit of the story of Macbeth anyway. Like I knew the general gist of it. But he was just sat there for the like 2 or 3 hours, whatever it was, be like, I have no idea what's happening. And I was like, yeah, we didn't really think this through before going into it.
No, like I said, I really do feel like a great kinship with your mate there, because like coming over from Australia and it'd be like, hey, read this play, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this means. Like, can you, like, okay, what do you think he meant by that? I don't fucking know. Who's speaking right now? What is he saying? Is this English? I don't believe it is. Just getting so fucking confused, and just English teachers being so angry at me for not just understanding. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is just not a thing I'm used to.
The important thing to remember about Shakespeare is the reason why he has such a huge influence on English is because he made up like 50 words every fucking play. Like, just made shit up.
Can you imagine, like, I don't know, J.K. Rowling doing that? Like, oh yeah, the benevolence of this person outraged him.
That is literally what the books are like.
That is literally what she did.
It's okay. I haven't fucking read J.K. Rowling.
What,
I'm like fucking. I haven't read Harry Potter. I'm not 10 years old.
Filthy muggle.
Okay, that sounds like it's an insult.
Fucking
I'm not
mudbloods.
okay with... Okay, what? You are literally just bullshitting at me right now. Okay, let's say someone else did it. I don't fucking know. A writer who has to use real words that isn't related to magic, because, yeah, you're gonna fucking... I mean, kind of like... Like, you describing an emotion or whatever.
He scowled at her crompunctulously.
Yeah, something like that. Not kind of like fucking Wingardium fucking Serpentine in my
Leviosa.
dick. Fucking whatever. Fucking, like, Bertie Bott's all-flavoured fucking Wingardium Leviosas. I don't fucking know. Fucking, I don't know. Stop laughing at me, you British fucking Harry Potter nerds!
Your low-grade aggravation at all the concepts of Harry Potter is an endless source of amusement.
Yeah.
Just fuck off, both of you.
I'm gonna have more of it. The way to tease you with, because I've just started. We've got the first book in French, because me and Ruth know the stories so well from reading them so many times. Like, we figured it'd be quite a good one to start with French, because it's like childish enough to be relatively basic, and we also know what's happening anyway. But I'm going to get to read all the spell names in French, which will be cool.
Yeah. And then you find out they're all actually just straight up what they are in the books, which is Latin.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, probably.
But some of them won't be, like, minor spoilers, but like...
I want Wingardium Leviosa to be wingy flyy,
Fly.
because that would be very fun.
Well, it'd sound fancier in French, because they don't say wing or fly.
They probably don't. They probably
So it doesn't
don't.
sound quite as silly to them.
Well, yeah.
The fuck have we been talking about for the last half an hour?
Before we move on from Shakespeare, though, if you want to see a good Shakespeare, did you ever see the one that Joss Whedon did when he was having a break? He had like 4 days off after shooting the first Avengers.
No.
So he made Much Ado About Nothing.
I did not hear about this.
He had like literally like 4 or 5 days off after finishing Avengers and moving on to whatever he did next. Was it Cabin in the Woods? He basically got a load of his mates, and his mates include, you know, basically people who are in Firefly and Dollhouse and various other things he's done. And then he just filmed an adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing.
Huh.
Okay.
It's black and white. It's filmed at Joss Whedon's house, which is beautiful, as you'd kind of expect.
Well, yeah.
It's set. It's like the original script, so it's in like it's set now, but it's with like the old English stuff. But you can kind of see what's happening, so it doesn't matter that you can't necessarily understand it all as much. Yeah, I recommend. It's good. It's got Nathan Fillion in it as Dog's body. Anyway, yeah, it's. I mean, it's like he's a side character, but it's still worth watching it because it's got. And I can't even remember who else it's got in, but it's like all of Joss Whedon's people. So
is it the sort of thing where you watch it and go, oh, that's X from from Buffy, that's X from Firefly, that's
yeah. And I just love the fact that he had like 4 days off, and he was like, well, I've always wanted to do this, so fuck it.
You got to admire that. Just going, yeah, why not? There's literally nothing stopping me doing this right now, so I'm just going to fucking do it.
Yeah. No, I respect that.
But yes, the original topic, old books, Man in the High Castle, whatever it's called. The book is meh. I'm enjoying it a bit. I'm more the concept rather than the actual book, but it's made me want to watch the TV series. So, although that would mean having to get Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, I have had a free trial in the past, but it was like 10 years ago, so maybe they've like reset whatever it is that allows me to do it again, and I'll get a free trial again.
Well, fingers crossed.
All I can say about Amazon Light Video is that the app for it, that say if you're running it on like a games console or whatever, is, if I remember rightly, it's a modified version of the old Love Film app, because they just bought Love Film.
Yeah.
And just as when it was Love Film, it is still garbage.
Yeah, I tried it. We had it at a mate's, and we were trying to find films to watch. In fact, it might have even been Dicko's. And I think, it was at Dicko's, and it was the weekend that Robin Williams died, and we were like, okay, we need to watch some Robin Williams films. Yeah. And he happened to have Prime. I don't know if it was a trial or whether he'd actually paid for it like an idiot. Actually, the amount of crap he buys off Amazon is probably actually worth it for him for the delivery.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were trying to find Robin Williams to watch. We like found loads, and we were like watching them. We were like, oh no, you need to buy this. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? We remember we've got Prime. We don't need to. It's like, oh no, this isn't included in Prime. You have to buy this separately. It's like, okay, we'll try the next one.
Amazon Video is basically for people that thought that Netflix was just too convenient.
It was too convenient, too good, and didn't make you want to die.
Yeah. If you didn't feel the apathy at the universe making you want to end your own life while using a video streaming service, then Amazon Prime is for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
This
that
podcast
sounds-
sponsored by Amazon Prime. Hit us up, Amazon. I know all we do is talk smack about you, but fuck. Ain't give a damn.
Yeah, does someone want to talk about a video game? Because technically
that's-
this is a video game podcast.
Okay.
Meh, no. I mean, I embrace that loosely. As a
Oh, yeah.
Hey, one of the two things I spoke about was a video game. It's not my fault. You went off on a tangent to all of them.
About books. Ew, that's something you do when your video games aren't working.
Not entirely untrue. So, Snipe, what have you been doing in the last couple of weeks?
Well, I haven't been reading like a loser.
Well,
Just saying. We played Don't Starve for the channel, and I've been playing a bit
I
of
saw.
that. Yeah, it's actually quite fun. I mean, it's just a standard kind of like 2D-esque kind of survival
Yeah.
game. I do really like the art style of it. I think it is really quite fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weirdly beautiful.
Yeah, it's very scratchy, but also it's so cohesive and fun to look at.
well, it just reminds you of when Tim Burton was good.
Yeah, that's probably it, actually. But yeah, it's just, it's like the whole make tools, cut down trees, get lumber, refine materials, build things, but you need lights at night, and horrors come out at night, and there's like an insanity kind of like mechanic as well.
Yeah, spooky monsters in the dark.
Spooky
Like
monsters in the
H.P.
dark.
Lovecraft's Minecraft.
Yeah, basically kind of like
Yeah.
that. And I think it's a cute, fun little game. Also played a little bit of the Shipwrecked DLC.
Oh, how's
Okay.
that? I have not seen any of that. Actually, you've been playing a lot of it away from me.
Yes, I'm like, I can't show you, but yeah, it's okay. The Shipwrecked one. I mean, there's like a bunch of new things that have been added, like messages in bottles and stuff, which kind of they have like a treasure map in them. Like sometimes, so there'll be like a cross there, and you're like, ooh.
Can you make like boats and stuff in there?
You can make rafts and things like that. There's other kind of weather effects because it can rain where you have like how wet through are you meter just in the standard kind of game, and fires don't last very long in the rain obviously, and things like that. So there's too many new things. I'm not comfortable enough with the base game kind of crafting and items you can make to really appreciate the Shipwrecked edition. So I kind of had a bit of a try of it. There's crabs in it, which are cute.
That's all I need to know, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
excellent.
I cut down a palm tree that had coconuts on it, and a palm tree fell out and nutted me. It just smacked me right on the fucking head, and I was like, "That's just rude."
What, a palm? You cut down a tree and then a palm tree fell out of it.
No, a coconut fell. What did I say? Did
You
I
said
say
a palm tree. Yeah, you said a palm tree fell out of the palm tree. The palm tree, sensing danger, threw its own child at you.
You know what? That's not what happened, but I'm going to pretend it is what happened because that's way better. But yeah, I've been enjoying that. It's a fun little game. It's it gives you like a tally at the end and goes, well, you survived for this long and did X, Y, Z, so this is how much experience you get, and it fills up a bar. When you fill the bar, you unlock a new character, which I think is actually very cool.
Oh, any game with like permadeath, I think that's a really important thing to do because it means that there's a reason to keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've unlocked up until there's like a wooden kind of like robot thing, which is like if it gets struck by lightning, it's actually charged by it, but it like I think water hurts it, so like rain is a massive problem.
Okay.
And like there's all sorts of like there's a strong man as well, Wolfgang, you can play as, where he's really strong and awesome, provided he's got a full belly, which is quite tough.
Yeah, I've seen him when he doesn't have food, and he looks like fucking death.
Yeah, really, he just
Like, he looked rougher and rougher.
yeah. And then there's like a pyromaniac who isn't hurt by fire, which is pretty good because on stream I unlocked her and I played her for a bit, and there was if you cut down trees, there is a small chance that the tree you're trying to cut down will turn into like this tree person and basically chase you infinitely. So I was running around for like 10 minutes with this prick chasing me, and I didn't have enough health to just stand and fight him, so I basically burnt about 3 different forests down with him inside it. And I think I eventually got like a random like NPC pigman to take him out for me.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a pain.
Oh, the pigmens are awesome.
They are super cute. But yeah, so lots of little nuance to it. I'm quite interested
Yeah,
by
I still
it.
not. I played a little bit of Don't Starve Together. I think I played it for Dicko for his channel at some point.
You see, we tried to do that with him as well.
Did not work.
It didn't work. This was fucking ages ago.
Yeah.
Ages ago. And then there was some recording issue, so it never happened.
Yeah.
I played as like a beaver dude.
Beaver dude.
I can't remember what it was called, but like we didn't realise exactly what his thing was, but like it turned out if you chopped down too many trees too quickly, he turned into like a were-beaver.
Okay.
But
then
pretty fantastic,
seemed to
actually.
be any way of making it undo that, so...
Okay.
But it's weird, because when it's still the permadeath, so if one of you dies, the other one's kind of just... You're playing together, but one of you can't do anything, apart from just follow you around as a ghost.
I have
So
seen
it's a bit
bits
weird.
of that, actually, yeah.
But so we played it for like an hour then, and I've watched quite a lot of Sips playing it when it... I think it was Sips.
Yeah.
When it like first came out.
No,
And
it is.
I really didn't like the idea of it, but I just never quite got round. I have it, but yeah, maybe that's on the list. That's on the list of things to play when I get my computer over here.
Yeah.
As is basically everything else.
As is every video game ever made.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so I've been having some fun with that. Still need to figure out a lot more with it. I do also really like how you can tweak worlds. So you can basically go, I don't want anything that can hurt me. Any enemies, no. Or you can put them on max, so it's kind of like less,
Right.
more, lots, kind of like...
I do really appreciate that on those sort of games.
I like how there is the opportunity to have just a Zen run. I think that's really
Yeah.
good.
It allows you to pick the difficulty that you're comfortable at playing at. Because those sort of games, some people enjoy playing them for like, the relaxing side of it, of building up a thing and kind of getting yourself to like a nice place, whereas some people like the challenge of staying alive is what keeps them playing, and having those kind of ability to tweak the difficulty does allow you to kind of pick where you're comfortable with. So
I do really like that. I do really think that's a very cool thing to have. Because as you say. What else? I've been playing a good bit of Rainbow Six Siege, actually.
Ooh.
Very fun. I do like that. First-person tactical shooter, for those of you who don't know, who live under rocks.
who have never heard of the Rainbow Six series?
Yeah.
Who is this Tom Clancy? He's a young go-getter. He's going places.
He's something to do with, I don't know, the Navy?
Maybe.
Fucking whatever, I don't know. But it's like, it is quite fun. I've been playing with my brother, because my brother is much more into the tactical military shooters and Counter-Strike and stuff like that than I am. And so we've been kind of playing together, and he's been
coaching
me, kind of. Played a lot. I've been playing, basically, it's 5v5, but I've been playing kind of the PvE kind of versus AI. Just because I don't feel comfortable enough with, I don't know the maps well enough, I don't know the individual operators that I'm using, their abilities, I don't feel that I am well enough equipped to go and verse other people who've been playing this from launch.
Well, aren't the bot matches? They're not the same as like a regular match. They are set up as like wave survival things.
No. There's multiple different kind of like PvE things. So there's like you go and disarm bombs with AI opponents, kind of like wandering around the area in which you have to find bombs. There's hostage defense, hostage rescue, and there's just standard kind of terrorist hunt elimination. Like, kill all the guys before they kill all your guys, kind of thing. And I'm really enjoying it because it's like there's a lot of opportunity for nuance and tactics there. I mean, I am really the opposite of a tactician. I prefer to just run screaming at someone with an axe above my head, but I like I like kind of basically being on mic and going, okay, I've booby-trapped this door, I've put a thing up there, we're going to try and tunnel them down here. You can check cameras, and you can tag enemies through the cameras and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff you can do, and I really, really think that's very cool.
One thing I have heard about it is that it is a game that gets exponentially more fun if you've got friends on mic. Because you can
organise tactics.
Ooh,
yeah, definitely. I've played it with just basically silent matches with people I don't know, and I played it with my brother, and yeah, definitely. Well, I guess that's the thing. It'll always be more fun with people you know, but it is. You really do get into it. It is quite fun. There's lots of things like there's loads of operators you can unlock. Operators like heroes. Kind of, they've all got their own kind of ability, and they're all from kind of like famous like organizations like SAS, Spetsnaz, FBI. and they all have like different specializations.
You know where my favourite is?
Oh god, what?
My favourite is Sledge.
Oh, Sledge from the SAS.
Do you know why he's called Sledge, Matt?
Why is he called Sledge?
Because he's got a sledgehammer.
He's well good.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a guy in...
That is just too clever writing.
But yeah. And like every time you unlock, because there's like in-game currency, because...
Of course there is.
Ubisoft, of course.
Ooh, Ubisoft. Is there towers?
No.
Ooh.
Not as far as I mean, I haven't encountered them yet. I'm not going to discount it, because it is a Ubisoft game.
You climb up onto any given roof and there's just feathers up
And
there.
you're just like, the fuck? But every time you finish a match, you get in-game currency. You get like, depending on how you perform, you get like a couple of 100, 250 kind of thing every match. And the first operator from every kind of slot, like from team. So like say from the FBI, there's 2 defense and 2 attack operators. The first one will cost you 500 points. The second one costs you that. Exponentially kind of grows like from each team. Until you get, there's like 2 teams, however, that they have 2 operators in them. 1 attack, 1 defense, who are like 2,000, like 25,000 points each, which is a fucking lot.
Yeah.
So super premium dudes.
But my biggest problem is that, like, I mean, with Heroes of the Storm, like, they have like free hero rotation, and you can also try out hero. If memory serves, I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can try them out. But yeah, so it's like, oh, this weekend, this character who usually costs like £8 or like 10,000 like in-game currency is free to play. So you go and you see if you can get like, see if you kind of work with their abilities and if you get them, if you like their play style. There doesn't seem to be that in Rainbow Six Siege. So I want to get like there's a character called Frost who has like traps that referred to as like a welcome mat, and it's like I just want to mess with one of those. And there's like a stealth one as well, where she's got like a silenced pistol, and I'm like, I really want to play with these characters, but what if I save up for like a couple of days and just spam matches, and I hate their playstyle?
Yeah.
That's the big worry. But I mean, I've unlocked a few, like Ash, she's like from the FBI, she's got like a flechette kind of grenade that kind of destroys, like, blows holes in walls. That's another thing, destructible terrain, which is quite fun in this. So
the sledgehammer is weirdly relevant then.
It really is, because you get like there's like trap doors, and I remember I was sitting there with my brother. We were kind of like in the corners, so we have a good sweep of the room. It was protect the hostage, so the hostage is in the middle, and you can't just fucking cover them with a bulletproof vest or anything. No, they're just sitting in the middle of the room, just playing with the dicks or whatever. And we could, like, hear, like, sound is very important, because you can kind of hear where boots are coming from. So you're like, okay, they sound like they're coming from the right, or I can hear them above us. So we're sitting there in this room protecting this hostage, the ceiling explodes, and they start pouring in. It was fucking awesome! I was just like, oh, and they threw smoke, it was just like, oh my god, this is perfect. This is so good. But no, I do like it. Like, there's a couple of heroes I've been really enjoying. I've been playing a lot of a guy called Kapkan, I think his name. He's from Spetsnaz, defense. And he can booby trap doors. So, like, he has, like, 3. You can use, like, there's 3 total. You can't get them back once you've used them.
Yeah.
Which, game balance, what do you want?
Yeah.
So, like, the first time, I think it was maybe the second time I used him, I booby trapped a couple of doors. And it was a defend the hostage, so you know.
Yeah.
And I think one of our guys got pretty much killed instantly. Like, the round started, he ate it immediately. So I was like, shit. So we're down to 4. And we just about cleared the wave. And I got in-capped near one of the doors I booby-trapped. And there was one guy left. So he sees me lying there, like, and you hold like a button so you don't bleed out. But you can also move, but you bleed out faster.
Yeah.
So I was there because I couldn't see anyone, so I was just holding my guts in, basically. And he made his way over, just as a fucking terrorist tripped my fucking beam, exploded, killed 3 of us. Just, killed the terrorist, killed both of us, round over, you lose. And I was like, it was so funny, though. That's the thing, I was like, that was so embarrassing, but so fucking funny. I didn't mind. Oh, and the first time I rappelled...
Oh, I saw that.
You saw that because I had to stop playing because I was laughing so hard. So we were on, I think it was a find the bomb and disarm it thing. So we approached this building, and a couple of our teammates are like, I'm going to try and rappel up this building, because you can, like, kick in, like, windows and stuff like that, like, properly, kind of like SWAT team. It's great. Awesome. So I'd never done this before, so I'm kind of looking at this guy, and you look up at a ledge, and it's like, hold this button to rappel. So I held it down, and you throw your rope up, and I got up there, and I don't know what I pressed, but I was suddenly upside down, just flailing. I was just like, ah!
It was probably a very accurate representation of what would happen if you, with no experience, tried to rappel up a building.
Yeah, the funniest thing was, I was in the doorway, so my teammates couldn't get past me.
There was just
because I was upside down, flailing around, not knowing what to do.
There was just this random special ops commando upside down, waving their arms and legs around in a doorway,
and then I got
presumably
shot.
Screaming.
You just wanted a Spider-Man kiss. That's all you wanted.
Apparently, I wanted to, like, Spider-Man kiss over the doorway, so each one of my team, as they entered, I'd give them a little peck for encouragement. But yeah, I got fucking capped super hard and just crawled out of the way and just laughed my fucking ass off. It was the funniest shit.
Can there be friendly fire in this?
There is friendly fire, because I will tell you, because the first time I ever played Sledge, we go, okay, so we form up as well as 5 strangers can do, to go and enter a door. I have the sledgehammer. I take it out because it's barricaded, which, basically one hit from my sledgehammer, we can all go in. Yep. So I was like, I was going to smash it and then be point man. I take out my hammer, I raise it above my head, I get capped immediately in the back of the head. Just bam, I'm dead, because a teammate, like, just wasn't paying attention. I look at them and they just leave instantly. They rage quit. Well, no. They left, and I'm pretty sure it's because they were so embarrassed.
They shame quit.
They shame quit. But no, I have been really enjoying it, mainly because I'm terrible at rappelling and things like that. But no, it has been fun. I mean, there is like one map that I'm really not a fan of. You've all gas marked up. You're in like biohazard gear, and you can't see like 4 feet in front of your face because there's like yellow shit in the air.
Yeah.
You've seen me play.
Yeah, I've seen you play.
And it's just you can't see anything. And it was like the first time I played it, I downed one of my teammates because I just saw movement, and I was like, it must die. Which they were quite nice about it, because I was like, I'm really sorry, and I just went and picked them up, and they were like, that's fine. So that was kind of nice. I haven't actually encountered many, like, because usually with friendly fire games, you'll go into like a few games and someone will just go, hey, I've got a shotgun, bye team. I've only encountered one guy who did that. He caps one of our team, and I'm like, well, this could just be a mistake, because we've all accidentally popped one of our teammates. That's fine.
I when the last friendly fire game I played was Eternal Crusade, and I murdered about half my team before I realised that friendly fire was a thing in the game.
Okay, I'm starting to feel way better about this.
In my defence, I was using a heavy bolter, and those things don't aim well.
Okay, that's good defence. Good defence, really.
If by those things you mean you.
He is a thing.
I am a thing. And I don't aim well.
So the guy who'd been downed was like, kick this guy, he's just killed me. And I was like, look, mate, he hasn't shot any of the rest of us. Yeah, that's an honest mistake by the look of it. I was wrong. We got to like just the last moment where this prick had been biding his time, and he turns around and open fires on me. I cap him in the face and down him immediately. Just like, mate, I've been watching. Okay, it was a complete accident. I'm not trying to portray myself as some kind of badass. But yeah, it was just, I happened to be looking at him when he shot me, so I popped him twice and killed him. And
I feel that was mostly on reflex.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, bam. I mean, yeah, bitch, that's why you don't shoot me. But yeah, I have been enjoying that. It's been quite fun.
Yeah.
So
Is it newish? I think I saw something a while.
I think it's been out about a year, but
it's got quite an active base still.
That's cool.
They've been releasing new stuff for it a lot.
Well, there's a few new operators due in a few days.
Well, from what I hear, the game is virtually unrecognisable from its launch version because of various tweaks and balances
I didn't hear fantastic things about it on launch.
Yeah, I heard it kind of sucked on launch.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm playing it now, even just on my own, without the modifier of, I'm enjoying this more because I'm hanging out with someone I like. I do enjoy it. I mean, the in-game currency isn't that intrusive. I mean, you can buy currency and stuff like that, but it's you just play for a bit, and I'm unlocking operators at a reasonable amount of time. So I'm having fun with it. So yeah, you have to get it, Drummer Butt, and pop on that massive list.
Yep.
Apart from that, I did a couple of streams on my own.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A couple of creative streams on Twitch.
Actually, we both have.
Yeah, we both have. Your therapist has been working wonders for both of us.
Yeah. I had a surreal moment because I think the first one happened before the last podcast came out, but we recorded that podcast before I did it, which is that my therapist said that it would probably be a good idea for me to do some things on my own so that I would start having confidence in my own abilities. And that manifested into me doing a live stream on my own.
Well, that is doing a thing on your own, especially because Snipe and Wib were always together.
So that meant that legitimately I could sit there and say I'm live streaming because my therapist told me to.
That is pretty excellent.
Or alternately, I'm playing video games because my therapist told me to.
Yeah.
And that went all right, but then that then evolved into,
because I've been kind of taking her advice through you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing a therapist, and I probably should be. But I'm like, no, I'll just do whatever she tells him to do. That's probably okay.
That would be fine. Yeah, you're like the same person, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
To be fair,
the advice applies to both of you.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, you know what? I've always meant to paint something on stream, and I haven't painted any Warhammer in ages. So I painted like a knob.
You painted your knob on camera.
Like angled the webcam down at the desk, like put music on in the background. Didn't get my dick out.
Had
honestly.
some good lighting. It was very tasteful.
Yeah.
YouTubers' dicks.
And then sat down for like 3 hours and painted that, and then the next day did it again. And then you followed me up.
I'm blatantly
earlier this
copying
week.
you. Yeah, first stream I did was I was lining and colouring a picture in Photoshop of one of my characters. And a good few people showed up, just hung out, had a good chill, and then I drew Fulgrim from Warhammer 40,000 pre-fall in a mankini.
Yes, you did.
In the Ned Flanders feels like I'm wearing nothing at all pose. That's the thing I did on the internet.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Laura K. Buzz actually favorited that tweet.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Excellent.
With a fantastic button. I was like, she is the Khaleesi of butts. She knows what's good, so I was very flattered. I did a painting stream yesterday where I painted up a Dreadnought. And that lasted for like 5 hours.
Whoa.
Because, I don't know, it's like I looked up and it was like, oh, I've been going for 3 hours. Shit. I've just about finished the base paint. So that was good. It was really helpful because, having like an audience there,
it makes
sit there and go, fucking finish it.
It makes you stick through it.
It makes you,
so
you don't stop every few minutes and like check Tumblr or whatever. So it really does help you keep at it.
And it did, thank you to everyone that's been watching those streams.
It really does help.
It's been, they've been a lot of fun. And honestly, I would have done a lot more, but my sleep patterns have just been utter garbage recently. So I've been up at weird times. So I haven't really been awake and alive when would be sensible times to stream. But we did buy some models for painting on stream.
We bought a Kill Team.
Yeah, we bought the Kill Team box set and a set of Mark IV Marines to kind of mix and match because we're making a Cardinal Archivist Kill Team.
Which is our channel's Warhammer 40,000 fan chapter.
Yes.
For those of you who might not know.
So they're going to be painted up on stream quite soon. They're literally, well, not all of them, but I think 4?
There's a good few on the prep table for undercoats. So.
They're currently all propped up, with like the guns and the backpacks on little
bits of sprue.
Little spindly bits of sprue, so they can be painted separately. They're all ready to be base coated, which I'll go out and do after we've recorded this. So in the next, I say next couple of days, the first one will probably have happened by the time you listen to this podcast.
Yeah, we did record them a few days early.
This isn't live. I don't know if you know this.
It's live every time someone listens to it, so we're just really good at memorising scripts.
But actually, speaking of the Kill Team, because I will just mention this now, There is something I wanted to mention, which is the Kill Team box set is the first time that I've bought something made by Games Workshop and gone, you know what, actually, I don't feel like I was ripped off here. It's actually really good value. Because I think it's like 40 quid. And in it, you get a Fire Warrior, like squad, which has a couple of drones in it and one of like the gun emplacements. And a tactical squad. And on its own, that costs 40 quid. So that by itself is the money of the box. And so it's like, yeah, okay. And the modern tactical squads have so many more options in them than when I last bought a tactical squad, which was in like the late 90s, which was the old 3rd edition ones. They've got so many weapon options in them now, because you used to just get a flamer and a rocket launcher, and if you wanted anything different, you had to go buy it separately.
Yeah, pretty bare bones.
Whereas now you get you only get one heavy weapon, so you only get the rocket launcher. But in the extra weapons, you get a plasma gun, a melter gun, a flamer, and I think it's a graviton, whatever they're called. The weapon that they added like a little while back, and I've just not bought any Space Marines since they added them at all. So it's like a completely new thing to me. But you get all those, and it's like, actually, that's pretty good. And on top of that, to make it actually even more worthwhile, you get the rule books for Kill Team, which contains all the information of how to play the models you've got in there, so you don't actually have to have the codexes or codices, as it should be said, but
Codexes feels right.
Well, Games Workshop always says codexes, even though it should be codices.
Yeah, but they also charge like a ridiculous amount of money for bits of plastic. So
yeah. But it comes with a nice rulebook for Kill Team, and comes with the mini 7th edition rulebook, which, like, those things are effectively quote unquote free, considering the cost of the models in that box set. So I'm like, you know what? That's actually pretty good value.
That, and we order through Darksphere as well.
Oh yeah, there is. I will totally shill for Darksphere.
Darksphere, we're sluts for Darksphere.
If you live in it, I don't know if they deliver abroad, but if you're in the UK, they're one of those places that sell Games Workshop for like 20% off.
And apparently actually send you the stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember which one it was that I used, but I used one, and basically it was like 2 months later they still hadn't sent it me, and I've been sending them emails every day, being like, or every few days, being like, any update? And oh no, still waiting for our delivery. Oh, we're still waiting. And it literally, like, it was 2 months later when I finally cancelled my order, thinking like, this is just what?
Yeah.
I can't remember which one they were called, but yeah, you've got to be careful of like dodgy ones of those.
Oh, you've really got to be careful with these kind of sites.
Yeah, but I've ordered from Darksphere before I know they're good. Do you want to know how long it took us, or it took them to deliver to us?
Well, the Kill Team box was out of stock.
Oh yeah, when I ordered it, they said the Kill Team box is out of stock, so you will have to wait a while. And I was like, okay. What they meant by wait a while was it'll be there in 2 days.
Nice.
Which is pretty sweet.
Which was like, okay, so when you said it was not in stock and you would be getting some more soon, you meant in about an hour.
Hey, I ain't complaining. We got some pretty new models there.
Yeah, so I can definitely recommend darksphere.co.uk if you wish to sponsor our podcast, or at the very least, give me some Space Marines. I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, give us some Space Marines. We'll tell everyone how awesome you are.
I'll shill for things that I genuinely think are good.
Ooh,
so yeah.
I have a couple of questions then.
Yes?
Follow-up questions. Has my mind completely blanked this, or when did 7th edition happen?
That's a fantastic question, because I don't remember either.
Not very long after 6th. People did not get on with 6th.
No, because I remember when 6th came out, we just kept playing 5th.
Yeah.
But in my head, I couldn't remember when... So what's the difference between, in very briefish terms, what changed from 6th to 7th?
Oh,
Can you remember? Like, I feel like at some point I knew this, but I've just apparently completely blanked it from my memory.
I have only vaguely skimmed over the rule because I never got around to getting the 7th edition book. I got the big proper 6th one, which, even though I only ever played one game of 6th,
it doesn't matter. You got a big pretty book.
The book was worth it because like the amount of lore and just awesomeness in that book was kind of worth it for me. Because I'd not had the big rule book since 3rd edition, so. But looking through it, I haven't really noticed too much that's different. There's minor little things here and there like to do. I think cover works a little bit different again, and there's things to do with terrain But yeah,
Okay,
it doesn't
cool.
look that much different. It looks like they've just kind of tweaked a lot of the things that were kind of introduced in 6th, really. I no doubt people will tell me I'm wrong, but bear in mind, I've fully read about 2 pages of the rulebook and skimmed the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly, you dick. How do you not know everything about it? God.
It works basically the same as Warhammer has since fucking 3rd edition, so... Just with, minor differences with how it deals with things like vehicles and terrain and all the rules.
Oh, is that all? That's fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Alright, next question. You get 10 Marines
Yes.
in this box and 10 Tau.
Yeah.
How's that a fair fight?
It's not.
I'm not sure if it is 10 Tau, actually.
It's
not.
if it's the I think, do you get 10 or do you get 12 in a squad?
Maybe it's 12. I
think it's 12.
haven't checked that all the Tau are still firmly on the sprue.
Either way, I feel like that's still not a fair fight because like Marines, assuming they're good into the same bolters, are still like, are they AP4?
Yeah, they're AP4.
Yeah,
no, they're AP5.
AP
Bolters are.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Bolters are shooty guns?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're AP5.
Oh, yeah,
Because
okay,
I know, because my orcs never get armor saves ever.
Yeah, okay, but Tau still would. Okay, that makes it a bit more fair.
And they have 2 gun drones and a gun emplacement thing that
Ooh, okay.
Tau now have. So I think that's what kind of fills up the
Okay.
extra points. So
Yeah, I'll be tempted to give that a go. You need to get some of my the terrain that I got from the Mantic equivalent of Kill Team, like Dead Zone.
Dead
That's
Zone,
all.
yeah.
Which we never really played enough. We never really
Yeah, we played like 1 game of it.
Yeah, but you got a shit ton of awesome terrain with that
Oh, yeah.
box set.
Because Mantic are badasses.
But I've just haven't grown up with the rules for them, so it's just like I
Yeah.
have to learn a whole new rule set.
I know, we're old and lazy and can't be bothered.
Yeah, took us long enough to change from 5th edition.
I just like 5th, okay? I like the way, I like
good
the
addition.
simplicity of it. I don't give a shit about warlord traits, okay? I've said it now, I don't give a shit about warlord traits.
Are they still? Because I saw they came in
6th.
6th.
Yeah.
Are they still there?
Yeah, they're still there.
Ugh. Why?
The thing is, like in the 1 game of 6th I played, because I think that was the one where I played it with you and our friends that we went around their house, and we teamed up with Tau and Orcs and against Wolfwing and Black Templars, I think it was, and they expected me to go melee, but I decided to go shooty. Along with your Tau, and no one expects orcs to be good at shooty until they face them and go, okay, so you get to roll how many dice? You're like, it doesn't fucking matter what my ballistic skill is. And that's the 1 game of 6th that I've played, and we all rolled for warlord traits, and not one of us ever used them.
Yeah, because why would you?
It's
It's not as if the rulebook was simple enough. Like, okay, yeah, you know most of the rules by having played it for so long, but you don't need it to be more complicated.
Yeah,
You can you can easily kill a full-grown man with the rulebook.
yeah. I think that's
That's the best thing about disputes at the table.
I think that's part of the reason why I liked 5th so much, is that I really liked how streamlined it was.
Yeah.
And I can understand why some people would feel that was too simple and they wanted more complexity.
Yeah.
I do understand that. But me, I'm lazy. I liked that.
Plus, you liked basically invincible knob squads.
Diversified knob squads were not cheese. They were not cheese. They were a perfectly legitimate tactic.
That was full-blown cheddar.
It really was.
Yeah.
But the thing,
Yeah,
but
I
the
can
thing
see
was
why
that,
they changed some things.
well, it's because wound allocation before that, to do the wound allocation normally was just kind of crap. So
Yeah.
diversifying them was kind of the only sensible thing to do. Although it doesn't work like that anymore. So, but diversifying them doesn't do any harm either. So,
Yeah, that's, after that massive tangent out of the way, I think that's pretty much all I've been doing.
yeah.
So what have you been doing? You said you wanted to talk about a sci-fi.
Yeah, I'll try not to talk about it for too long because the podcast is already running quite long.
Yeah, I've just noticed how long we've been rambling on tangents for.
Yeah. What I will briefly mention, because I have been playing a lot, I played like 8 hours of it and didn't realise I'd played 8 hours of it. I've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 again.
Ooh.
Just re-experiencing some of my youth.
I remember you sitting there for about 2 hours going, why are the people dying?
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So there is a map that you play in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 where you have to make a theme park on Alcatraz for some reason.
Okay, right, yeah, why not?
You have infinite money, but what you have to do in this park is make 10 roller coasters of different types that have an excitement rating of 6. Which means you've got to kind of keep tweaking them to get the excitement rating up, and you can't just rely on like the what if you know how to make a good kind of roller coaster in one type, you can't just rely on doing it in that one type. You have to make 10 different ones. So
Okay, yeah.
now there was one particular one that I would build, I would test it, and it would work fine. It'd have the right excitement rating. As soon as I opened it and moved away from it, whenever I wasn't looking, it would kill someone. As soon as I turned my back, it just a cart would fly off the track and murder someone. So I'd fix it. I'd go, okay, it was because it was going too fast around this corner, which never showed up in tests, only when people were on it. I'm like, okay, I'll fix it. It now has a brake there, so it can't go too fast around that. Okay, I fixed it. I'd open it. 5 minutes later, it'd kill someone else when I wasn't looking. This continued every iteration. Every single iteration. In a new place, it would find a place to kill someone.
Well, I mean, I think you found out why the government were getting you to open roller coasters in Alcatraz.
Well, yeah.
I mean...
It sounds like it was just massively
Do you want
fucking
to know?
haunted.
Do you want to know what I did in the end? Is I built 9 roller coasters that were perfectly functional and not deadly, and then at the very end, once I built those 9, quickly opened that one, and so I'd get the completion screen for opening 10 before it killed anyone.
Does it close? Does it have to close if it kills someone?
Yeah. So
Okay, right, yeah.
So I'd reopen it. I reopened it, let it run for long enough to get to finish the level, and before it killed again. But yeah, so that was quite fun. But apart from Roller Coaster Tycoon, what I really want to talk about is that I have started watching the sci-fi series Lexx.
Okay. Lex Luthor?
No. Have you heard anything about Lexx?
Apparently not, no.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, it's a sci-fi that isn't Star Trek.
Yeah, so Lexx is a Canadian/German production that had some backing from the British Channel 5, which may explain why it has tits in it sometimes. I'm just going to give you like a basic kind of overview of it, just to kind of let you know what kind of series it is. So it's set in this like weird dystopian future. And they're on. You have a small ragtag group of characters on board a giant, unwieldy ship that's far too big for like the 3 of them. Okay. So comparisons to Red Dwarf, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not a sitcom, but it is a comedy in some ways.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
It is broadly speaking. I guess you could call it broadly speaking a comedy, but it's not a sitcom. Okay, so the main characters are a guy called Stanley Tweedle,
Okay.
who is a security guard who was inadvertently, not inadvertently, but ended up being responsible for the deaths of about 600 billion people.
So there's 2 uneaten German sausages he left in his fridge.
Nah.
And nobody's going to get that fucking reference.
Well, I do, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
There is a woman called Zev, who used to be she was trained in a box to be a perfect wife, but because her husband didn't find her attractive, she was taken to court because she wasn't fulfilling her wifely duties, and she was sentenced to be turned into a love slave.
As you
So
do.
you get a good idea of the type of dystopia we're working with here.
Yeah. Okay.
She gets turned into the love slave. She gets the body of the love slave, but as that's happening, an infestation of these things called cluster lizards breaks in, beheads the robot that's doing this to her, and the head of it ends up trying to eat her and gets caught while this machine is slammed down to give her this new body. So she's now hot German woman who is part cluster lizard. She escapes out of the machine as the headpiece comes down to reprogram her as a love slave, and then puts the robot head inside of it. So she now has a robot head who is sexually obsessed with her, completely ineffectually, because he's just a head.
Okay.
And the last person is like the dead, a dead member of a race who's had his blood replaced with like proto blood so he can survive.
That's the most sci-fi fucking sounding
and
thing.
he's just an assassin with no emotions. And the love slave woman wants to fuck him really badly because she's got like a crazy high libido.
Okay.
But he doesn't, because he doesn't feel anything.
What?
Most of the series is everyone but the dead guy wanting to have sex with something and getting into misadventures because every time they try, it goes wrong.
What?
Remember, if you have sex, you will get pregnant and you will die. Every time.
It's the most weirdly sexual sci-fi ever. Not helped by the fact that the ship, Lexx, that they're in, is a living ship that looks like a dragonfly when you're looking at it from one angle, but from the other angle, you could look at it and go, that's kind of a cock and balls.
Yeah, I feel like this was something that was made in the 80s.
It was made in 1997. It was only shown, at least here, at like 2 a.m. in the morning. Like,
yeah.
I know. There's not a 2 a.m. in the evening either, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
You would have got away with that, and I wouldn't have noticed.
I know. But someone would have noticed, and I have to lampoon it so that no one else will. Yeah, it was the sort of sci-fi I only ever saw bits of when it was on TV originally, because it was so, like, just at a stupid time. And the original series was like 4 episodes long, and each of them was an hour and a half long.
What?
And they didn't fucking need to be. You could like trim them down to like an hour and it'd be fine.
Yeah, I bet.
But the thing is that individual episodes are so fucking weird that it's beyond kind of explanation sometimes. Like, I was trying to explain it on Twitter and I was like, I can't communicate.
Yeah, you just specified as well the first series. So that suggests there is more than one series
There's
of this nonsense.
4 series of it.
Oh my lord.
Speaking of Twitter, I was, during my draw stream, I got someone come in and they were like, Snipe, so I've just been on Twitter, and why is the Snipe and Webplay official Twitter tweeting out bondage pornography? And I freaked out, because I thought we'd been hacked. And I was like, oh shit. So I went and checked, and it was just a fucking screenshot of Lexx that you'd posted. Which was just like some guy in a sex swing, and I'm like, the fuck are you doing?
Hey, technically he was being tortured.
How does that make that better? I mean, look, I don't care what you watch, it's just that's our official Twitter.
The best thing is that Lexx speaks to Stanley and only Stanley, because Lexx can destroy planets. It's basically a fast-moving Death Star. And through a crazy sequence of events, they end up, Stanley ends up as the only person who can control it. And so they're escaping, the first series is like them escaping from this evil empire, which there's a whole thing about brains being removed and a giant brain that has a screaming Malcolm McDowell head in it that I'm not even going to get into.
Yeah, maybe don't.
But the Lexx can destroy things, but it has this really placid voice. So Stanley will go like, "Lexx, destroy that planet," and he's like, "Okay, Stanley."
Boom.
And sometimes, and it's really literal with how it interprets things. So like, you can tell it to it's like Siri. You can tell it to refer to you as things. So like, Stanley's feeling really down one day, and he keeps giving him more elaborate ways to refer to him. So he's like, "Yes, Stanley, the hero of the downtrodden, who no one really appreciates."
Yeah, Stanley, the hero of the downtrodden, whom no one appreciates and who has a massive dongle.
Yeah, it's all shit like that. It's marvellous. And then there is an episode where there's a thinly veiled parallel to the South in America.
Okay.
These 3 astronauts who are all good old Southern boys.
Oh, Southern boys.
Who come from a planet called Potato Hole.
Yeah, okay.
And they're all...
I found my new Siri name.
They get eaten by Lexx. because Lexx has to eat because it's a thing, and like the crew are like, "Did you just move, Lexx?" And he's like, "I diverted from my course to eat a snack."
Can you imagine the dread? You'd be like, "Oh shit! Oh what? It's like a giant dog that flies you through. What have you got in your mouth?
Yeah.
What have you got in your mouth?"
I was hungry.
No, puppy.
It's a really simplistic speech and it's kind of adorable.
It eats people.
Yeah, but it's adorable.
It blows
with
up planets.
It's like it's being like literally eaten alive, and it's like, Stanley, I don't feel so good.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I actually feel really bad for this horrible murder dragonfly.
And it has to like reverse its drive to like its proton drive inward or whatever, so that it burns all these things out from inwards. And he's like, I do not wish to do that. I think that will hurt. And then when it does it, it goes, ow, that stings. But now these guys from Potato. They get it, and like all of like they're talking about their missus back home, and it's like, oh yeah, my old Betty Boo, she's the best woman in the whole wide world. And then the other one chimes in, it's like, oh, but she's nothing on my Mindy Moo. Like they're all doing that. And it's like,
what about my Cindy Moo?
It's funny because they're asking Stanley like what the Lexx can do, and he's like, oh, he has to do everything I say. So if I say, Lexx destroy that planet, he'll have to destroy that planet. And Lexx just goes, okay, Stanley, and then just blows up the planet next to them. And they're like, oh, this is not the only time that happens. And like later on, he's like, oh god, not again.
Is this how he accidentally killed like however many millions of people?
Oh no, that's a much more convoluted story involving amino acids in his tooth and him being captured by bondage pirates.
Is that the torture?
That's the second time he meets the bondage pirates.
Oh good, there's a second time.
Yes.
It's like, okay, you're telling me all this.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's insanity.
But the thing is,
I can't correlate all of these events in my brain.
What happens to the astronauts from Potato Hole is that also on Lexx there is a plant woman who likes Stanley and so won't eat him, but periodically wakes up and has to eat people.
There's like 3 people on the ship.
Yeah, so they have to find people for her to eat.
Oh Christ! Okay.
So
feed me, Seymour.
Yeah, pretty much. And the way they find this out is that she eats the crew of the Potato Hole ship. But she gives them like a weird dream sequence beforehand that's like just deeply surreal. But the final one is the guy had previously mentioned like his ultimate fantasy with his wife is like he's out there tending the garden and she comes out and says, are you going to carry on playing with that garden all day, or are you going to come inside and play with me?
Okay.
And he mentions that earlier, and then later on he has that fantasy with this plant woman because she gives him like the fantasy before she eats them.
Okay,
and
kind of like to stun them, I guess.
Yeah, to kind of like lure them in. And so that whole thing happens, you're going to play with me, and he goes, garden. And then walks out into the garden, watering his garden, muttering, garden, garden, purity, good old-fashioned values. And then it pans down, and you see that the garden is not plants, it's small heads of his children, and there's hundreds of them, all with their mouths open, begging for water, while he continues to mutter, garden, good old-fashioned values. Shit like that. You're just going, what the fuck am I watching? And the thing is...
You see, you could be making this up.
The thing is... I posted about that. I started watching it on Twitter and how weird it was. And then someone said, yeah, that gets really weird by the end.
Oh my
and
god.
I'm like, what? So you're saying that right now, this is when it's normal?
This is the baseline. Oh my goodness.
Oh, also the biological like toilets that they have, because obviously that Lexx is living. So the toilets are living. They have tongues. Apparently, it takes a while to get used to the sensation.
Oh. Oh, goody.
If you wish to experience it yourself, the entire series is up on YouTube. Not that I can condone such actions. but I'm just putting that information out there. So yeah,
So if you want to feel like you just eaten a tab, like a bad tab of acid and drunk half a pint of bleach, then yeah.
it's a weird antidote to me watching Star Trek. Because, as I say, most of the episodes start by the entire cast going, I'm really fucking horny. And Stanley turns to the sex slave and goes, well, why don't you have sex with me? And she's like, I can't, because I look at you, and then I can't.
See, that reminds me of an episode that you were kind of like summarising for me, which is the love slave who is a virgin and have a massively high sex drive. She won't sleep with Stanley. Because she likes dead assassin guy.
Yeah.
So then there's that episode where they all swap genitals.
Yes.
So she fucks him with his own dick.
Technically it's her dick.
Okay, no.
But they swap. They swap what type of genitals they have.
That's still pretty fucking weird.
Yeah. So technically they have slept together, just not the way that either of them intended.
The fuck is that show?
There's also.
I am impressed with the level of insane creativity.
If you want to know like an idea of the weird bleak humor that it has, is the very start of, I think it's episode 2. There is a guy floating in space in like this weird see-through coffin thing, and he's got like an automated radio signal going out that's basically saying that his world is, I think they've got like a plague, and he's been sent out into space in the hopes of finding another civilization that might be able to help them. And he's in like cryogenic stasis, and suddenly he gets woken up. You're just seeing him floating in space, saying that there is a ship nearby that's got advanced life. And so he wakes up in time to start making a radio broadcast to say like please, can you help me? And then instantly slams into the side of Lexx and explodes. And that's how the episode starts, and it's like, did we hit something?
Okay, that's pretty grim.
That's the level of like dark humor you're dealing with.
Dang.
I don't think I can ever say that Lexx is good, and I don't feel that it makes me a good person to like it. I think it might make me a bad person, but I kind of really like it.
I kind of like it that it exists just because it's so fucking strange.
Yeah, someone at some point paid for that.
Yeah.
So,
it's also fun because it's like half a German production, so like Zev, the love slave, is played by 2 different German actresses. And they actually have a really good canonical reason as to why it's swapped over, but it's very long and stupid and convoluted and involves the plant woman eating astronauts, and I won't get into that.
Okay. Good old traditional family values.
Yeah. So yeah, go watch Lexx, or if you want to retain your sanity, don't.
Yeah, I might have to do that now.
They're a bit long, so they're a bit of a slog, the first series, but worth it, I feel, anyway. Just for the novelty value of it.
It does. I can do nothing but applaud the creativity, because damn if that ain't creative.
Yeah. But now I've whittled on about sci-fi for a while. We really should get a jingle for that section.
Yeah,
we should probably end this here podcast.
Yes. Well, I think you've given us a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
For everybody at home, keep an eye on our Twitch channel, because I will be painting the kill team, which is all being named after people who support us on Patreon. All of them going to have a name on the base.
No.
Named after someone. Some of you I may have to have words with because you picked very long things, and the bases aren't that big.
Stated, don't. Don't pick a long name. Okay, I want the alphabet. Okay, no.
Okay, no.
Well, as soon as you explicitly state something,
Oh yeah,
we'll do the opposite on purpose.
Oh yeah.
So,
it took us a while to think of a way of doing this, like of how to name the kill team, like really nailing down a watertight way of doing it that people won't instantly find a way to make it like more awkward than it needs to be. Not out of like people being mean or like trying to be a dick, just what happens when you give people a lot of freedom in these kind of situations. It'll never work out smoothly.
And that's why Wib believes that we should live in a totalitarianist state.
No, I'm just saying that some people were born to be governed.
Oh my god! He does not represent the views of Snipe and Wib as a whole.
That is a joke. I just want that out there. That is very much a joke.
Okay, that's kind of like the joke that you maybe shouldn't make, because that's a bit. Anyway, thank you so much. We also believe that all of you are wonderful. We do not believe that certain individuals are born to be governed, because that's a horrifying viewpoint to have. Thank you for listening to us ramble on, and until next time, we hope you have a very nice day.
And we hope you see lots of dogs.
Yeah.
That's a callback.
Best dogs.
Yeah.